What's up, family? Back again. I know it's been a minute. I really been concentrating on my other channel since this channel got demonetized. But I still haven't forgotten about this channel at all. And I figure I just give you all my thoughts for a second. It's Tuesday morning. I got the day off. I'm sitting here while I was cleaning up, and then I was turned on the computer and I was watching this video. I like to watch the Hodge twins a lot. And I'm watching this video. You know, they give you comedy. They give you some of everything. If y'all don't know who the twins are, y'all need to go check them out. Hodge twins. I'll put a link in the description, even though I'm not going to use any of that footage. I was just watching this video of this guy. I believe he was in a body shop or something like that. Something that had to do with cars, I guess. But this cop got called there to a disturbance being put down at this place by this guy. And as soon as the cop walks in, the guy, he's sitting at the desk, but he's on the phone telling somebody to come and pick him up because he's about to go off on this cop. So the cop comes in, real calm. Hey, sir, this and that, this and that. So the guy immediately just goes left, start talking crazy. Stop talking to me. You don't need to be talking to me. You're this ain't even your jurisdiction, or you're this and I'm this and you can't talk to me. And I was confused. I was confused is all whatever. But anyway, long story longer, family. Just to give you a little background on what was going on with the cop, he actually had a ride along with him. Now, that's a person who's not a police officer, but he's riding with a police officer for the day. No matter what that might be a journalist, that might be a young kid who has aspirations of being a cop and wants to be what it's like before he tries to get into police academy. That could be anything, okay? But it was another young man who was riding along with the cop who came to the disturbance call with him. And because I don't want to go into all of it, but long story longer, the guy gets up, pulls a gun, aims it right at the cop. The cop backs up, gets behind a little cover or whatnot, but then when he did pull his weapon, he didn't pull his gun out. He pulled out his taser, okay? And he knew it was his taser. And he pointed back, you know what I mean? And now, the first thing I said to myself is what I always say. Well, Kevin, you know that there are a lot of good police officers out here. Okay, a lot of good ones. A lot of police officers that are not out here to actually harm people. They are out here to keep the peace. You know what I mean? And that's the thought that came to my mind, because he could have easily pulled his gun, but he didn't. He pulled his taser. Okay, and I guess they went on a little longer. And I'm just watching the Hodge twins version of the video. They're actually reacting to it, you know what I mean? But they're playing it, and they're sitting in the little box in the corner, so you can see everything that's going on. And so the guy shoots the cop. They don't show that part, but the guy shoots the cop. The cop doesn't expire, but he does get hit. The ride along. So what we find out almost at the end of the video is the guy fires about 15, 16 times in that place. Okay. And the ride along comes up and grabs the guy and grabs him around the neck. And I have to say it this way, but grabs him around the neck and puts him down completely. Okay. And then they flash to, and all of this is going on body cam. So then they flash to another officer arriving on the scene, and his body cam is on. And the people in the building are saying, yeah, he's right in here, he's right in here. But they don't yet know that the guy has expired, because the ride along is still holding him down. Okay. And the guy the cop that comes in, he's on the radio. You hear him talking to the other cop and trying to figure out where he is. and you hear the ride along yelling, "I'm in here, I'm in here, I'm here, I'm holding him down, I'm holding him down." And by the time they get in and get things to where they can see what's going on and whatnot, and they grab the guy, or they're trying to put handcuffs on him, and they're yelling at the guy who was expired. Uh, Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. You know how they pull that, but um, they get through that, and you hear the ride along say, "He's expired. He's expired. He's gone." You know. So then the Hodge twins show some footage of the family outside of, I guess, that town's justice department, I would assume, or courthouse. And they have an attorney there, and they're saying that they can't get information. And I don't know if this was like early on in the situation, or like maybe a little later on, but all I know is they were real upset, and they felt like there was some collusion or coercion going on to keep them out of what actually happened. And now I understand you can cut up footage, because I do it all the time. And but even if you cut up footage from this incident, in my opinion, when y'all see this, I'm gonna put a link so y'all can see it. But when y'all see this, you're gonna know, even when you get to the part where the family is heartbroken and all, you're gonna see that the officer in this case, not only was he a good officer, you know what I mean, and he was real calm. He was real humble with the guy. He wasn't trying to upset the guy, you know what I mean? And we've all seen the reverse, okay? But he was trying to do his best to keep dude calm, and dude was acting up, okay? Straight up, he was just acting up. And for you to pull your weapon and point it at an officer of the law in the United States, I don't care who you are, okay? Especially in a situation like this, where this officer doesn't have a weapon drawn on you. All he's saying is you can't leave until the other officer gets here. Why? Because they want to, do their job. This is a business. To serve and protect. That for the most part means businesses. But you're here causing a major disturbance, and not only are you causing a major disturbance, you have pulled your weapon on an official of the law in our country. Okay. Yeah. In my opinion, family, from what I saw on the footage, yeah, it did hit my mind when the footage, cut to this person and cut back or whatnot. I did say to myself, well, if he shot that many times, did he reload, or did he run out of ammunition and then got attacked by the guy? You know what I mean? And was down, and there wasn't a need to actually expire the man, but because the adrenaline is flowing and you don't know what he's gonna do, you have to protect yourself. You know what I mean? It's a crazy video, family. It's a crazy video. The shout out to the Hodge twins for bringing us that, man, for real. But it's a unique situation. It's for me, that's the only reason why I wanted to talk about it, because it was, when you see it, you're gonna see a person who is not being cooperative at all. You know what I mean? And we're in a time now where we have to program ourselves to how we should behave around the power, okay, for lack of a better term, around the cops, around the police. Not all cops are bad. We see them every day on TikTok dancing with kids and doing great things in the community. We see them on YouTube doing the same thing. Not all cops are bad. When I was younger, if you ran from the cops, they would beat you up. But if you ain't really did nothing, when they catch you, they're gonna beat you up, but they're gonna let you go. You know what I mean? It was when I was growing up, nobody was brutalizing people in my community as far as I knew. Okay. Um, that's not something I think about every day. That's not something I think about when I see the cops. No, I like the cops. For the most part, they out here doing the job that a lot of us can't do, won't do, afraid to do. You know what I mean? Yes, there are some cowboys out here. Yeah, I ain't gonna, nah, we ain't gonna be phony with it. We gonna keep it all the way 100. But for the most part, man, I had this young cop one time yelling in my face. What is your name? He had about 6 more cops with him, you know what I mean? And I thought it was funny, you know what I mean? Because I just felt him, and I was like in my 40s then. I was like, and he had to be a kid, man. You could see it all over him. He still had milk behind his ears, you know. But it was funny to me because I was saying to myself, wow, you know, I ain't afraid to get beat up. I mean, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? So when I started laughing at him, right, he was confused. He just backed up. You know what I mean? And the rest of the cops who were there, you know, they didn't say nothing to him, but they noticed. You know what I mean? It was funny. If you stayed to this point, family, thank you, man. I'll catch you on the next one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Uh, just like the video. Just like the video. You ain't got to subscribe if you don't want to. I mean, I know you don't hear that every day. It's enough subscribers on this channel for right now. I ain't worrying about subscribers. I'm worrying about watch time mostly and likes. That's what I need to get more watch time. So if you can, if you stayed to this point, I appreciate you, family. Like the video, like I said, and I'll catch you on the next one. Salute.